Welcome to another VeChain update. I have not made an update about this video in a very long time just because nothing really happened, but now we are getting a pump, so I think it's finally time to make an update about this. As you can see, I have updated my wave count, I have updated the predictions. I will talk about that very soon. And yeah, VeChain is still looking good. If you don't know what VeChain is doing right now, VeChain is trying to complete a first wave move of the main third wave, which is the third wave of this 1-2 setup right here that we started in June of last year. And yeah, to be able to confirm that the second wave right here is in, we need 5 waves up. And right now we are working on the third wave of these 5 waves. And the third wave should get to 4.9 cents. That's the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup. Then after that, we will need a fourth wave move down, and then a fifth wave move up will most likely put us at like 6 cents or so. And once we get this, that will confirm that the first wave of the main third wave is in, and that we are actually heading in a main third wave move to the upside. Now, as you can see, VeChain reacted to my support zone. It almost got to the 0.786 support level, which is not surprising. Most altcoins did this. And if you look at the bull market support band, which is this right here, we had a cross recently. That was in September actually, that was almost 2 months ago. And usually when we get a cross on the bull market support band, that's when coins just start pumping. I believe I mentioned this in my previous VeChain videos, but then again, I have not made a video about VeChain in a long time, so I'm gonna talk about this again. But before I do that, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon. If you want access to all of our charts, we update them daily, so yeah, if you're interested in that, check them out. And let's talk about the bull market support band now. Here we also had a cross on the bull market support band. As you can see, VeChain did nothing exactly for 2 months actually, so it's the exact same thing. We had a cross in August, and then in October we went above the bull market support band and we had a pump. And yeah, I mean, in this pump we went from about 1.4 cents to about 5.6 cents, which may not sound like a lot, but that's a 4S. So that's obviously great. And yeah, this is not surprising. At the end of the day, Bitcoin dominance is going down right now, but it's not going down that much, so the fact that altcoins are going up is actually very good, but you have to keep in mind, altcoins are only going up because Bitcoin is going up. If Bitcoin was just going sideways, the altcoins would not have gotten these pumps, so keep that in mind. We still have not had an altcoin season, and we are still not really sure when that will happen. Because if you look at the monthly chart, if you can remember from my previous videos, Bitcoin dominance usually closes a red wick in November. It has closed a red wick every single year for the past 9 years. And this year has been no different. I've predicted this many times and it's happening. And what's happening in this cycle looks very similar to what happened in the previous cycle right here. Here we also closed a red wick in November after we had a pump in October and September, and what do you know, we had a pump in September and October this year, and now November is a red month, which leads me to believe that we will continue going up in the Bitcoin dominance chart in December like we did in the previous cycle right here, and then in January we get the real altcoin season and we finally start going down on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, that does not mean that the altcoins will get new lows. I don't think getting new lows is possible right now, to be honest with you, because if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is almost at 100k, and once it gets to 100k, people will finally start hearing about it again, and they will finally start getting into crypto again, so that will make it get even more pumps. And like I said, I still believe Bitcoin will get to like 255k in this cycle, which is the 3.618 extension of the previous all-time high. And if that happens, then of course VeChain will be able to go up like another 5 to 10x, maybe even like 20x from where it's at right now. Now, why is Bitcoin important? Well, Bitcoin is always important. If it goes down, the altcoin market goes down. If it goes up, the altcoin market goes up. But when Bitcoin dominance goes down, the altcoin market actually goes up. Even if Bitcoin just goes sideways, it does not matter. What matters is Bitcoin dominance. But, you know, Bitcoin dominance can only top if Bitcoin gets to like new highs and it outperforms the altcoins. So right now we need Bitcoin to keep going up forever, or at least for the next few weeks, if we want the altcoins to do well in the next altcoin season, which should start in the next 2 months, like it did in the previous 2 cycles. As you know, Bitcoin usually gets a correction in January, and that's when Bitcoin dominance always goes down. So yeah, it's very difficult to say if we will get a correction in December or in January, but I'm still expecting a very big correction on Bitcoin dominance, and once that happens, VeChain will just go crazy. Now let's look at the monthly chart of the Bitcoin chart, because this is also important. So in the previous cycle, we formed a 5-wave move to the upside, which formed this first wave right here, and the bear market was an ABC structure, which formed the second wave move down, which means that right now we are working on the third wave move to the upside. Now, of course, the targets for the third wave are quite ridiculous, and it's probably impossible to get there. But keep in mind, this third wave, if we get it, it's probably going to take like 30 years. So this is not going to happen overnight. If VeChain is still a thing in like 30 years or so, then yeah, getting to like $55 is theoretically possible. But getting to like $55 in this cycle, I mean, of course that's not going to happen. What's possible for this cycle? Well, I'm expecting the third wave right here to get to about 23 cents, which is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup right here. And then we should get a fourth wave move down and a fifth wave move up. And the fifth wave will most likely put us somewhere between, let's say, 40 cents and 55 cents, maybe even a bit higher than that. And yeah, that will only complete the first wave of the main third wave, which is literally up here. You can forget about this. So yeah, that will only be the first wave. Now I know 23 cents does not sound like a lot for the third wave, but trust me, it's actually a lot when you consider the fact that when VeChain was down here, it was at like 1.8 cents. I mean, that's a 10x from the second wave move down low. So that's actually quite good. Actually, that's almost a 25x. So yeah, if you do not buy down here, I mean, that's not really my fault, it's your fault, because at the end of the day, I mean, this support zone has a purpose, and the purpose of it is for you to know when to actually buy. So if the price reacts to the support zone, you should probably buy. If it goes below the support zone, you should probably not buy. And what do you know? It reacted to the support zone multiple times. So you literally had 5 months to buy, and if you did not, I mean, that's your fault. If you want to buy right now, we might get corrections on the way up, but these are not guaranteed. And by the time we get a correction, we might already be at like 9 cents or so. So if you want to buy right now, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you when to buy, but you know, the best time to buy was 4 months ago. Not now. Now, of course, if you are new to crypto, you should probably do some research before you actually buy something. And in my opinion, it's actually pretty difficult to lose money in crypto right now, especially at this moment of the cycle. Now, of course, you're not going to make as much money as the people who bought during the bear market lows right here, but I still believe you will make some money, so you should be happy with what you make. And keep in mind, when we do get to these targets, if we get to these targets, you should start selling. I mean, you should not wait for the next bull market. The prices are going to drop again in the bear market, so if you are new to this game, this region is good for selling. Now, of course, it could go above this region, but why get greedy? Is a 10x from these lows right here not enough? Now, of course, this is not financial advice. You should do your own research and you should buy and sell whenever you want. I'm just giving you my opinion. Don't get greedy and sell when we get to new all-time highs. Not everything, just sell, you know, a bit at once. You sell once here, you sell once here, and keep in mind, you can never time the top, so when we do top, you're never gonna know it. I mean, here we topped, we had a very big correction, and then we somehow recovered from that, but not really, and yeah, people thought we were going to new all-time highs right here, which was not really making any sense, considering the fact that this was November, and as you know, the bull market usually ends in November of the post-halving year, so it was not really likely for VeChain to get new highs right here, but people were still greedy and they still thought that VeChain would go to new all-time highs. And it did not. So I'm expecting this cycle to end somewhere between July and November of next year. So there's obviously still some time left on the table. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.